Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for this another edition of JDTFridaysFan97 News. That's right, fans. JDTFridaysFan97 here, and for this JDTFridaysFan97 news for May 4th, 2026, there's a update on a proposed acquisition of Paramount Skydance and Warner Brothers Discovery. So yeah, and before we get started on today's video, I want you guys to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, join my Facebook group, and follow me on social media. And thank you for my fans out here who support me on my over the years. So yeah, and enjoy the video. Enjoy the video. All right, everybody. I'm here on the Hollywood Reporter, and it says, according to this, it says, Paramount is making great progress on Warner Brothers buy, Reaffirms deal closing time. According to this, it says, Paramount reported year-over-year growth in both revenue and adjusted EBITDA as CEO David Ellison and his team seek to make the company they acquired late last summer. At the same time, the company also says that it is making great progress on its deal to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery, with a late Q3 target close still on track. Paramount reported its Q1 earnings Monday with revenue of $7.35 billion, up 2% year over year, operating income of $616 million, an operating margin of 8.4%, and adjusted EBITDA of $1.16 billion, up 59% year over year. Sorry about that, guys. Paramount Plus was the big driver, with 17% growth year over year and subscribers growing by 700,000 even after accounting for a 1 million hit from the loss of the hard bundle. Overall, DTC revenue was $2.4 billion. Paramount, of course, is reporting earnings in a moment of the transition. Even though Ellison and his team only took over Paramount less than a year ago, they have a deal to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery and are telling the street that they expect to close this year, effectively turning them into an entertainment behemoth. Of course, customer rules mean that Paramount executives are limited in engaging with WBD about future plans. So Paramount needs to continue with its strategy, even as it plans separately for a future combined with WBD. Zooming out to 30,000 feet, we really review our pending acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery as a powerful accelerant to our strategy. Ellison said on a call, reiterating his plans to release 30 films per year in theaters. It expands reach and enhances our ability to create the world's most compelling stories and experiences, and it positions us really well to build a next-generation media and technology company. Ellison also said that the company will be focusing more of its efforts on premium, high-quality content. A core thematic for us has been quality. The best is the best. Being quality is the best business plan. Really making sure you aim high and you don't stop working until you get there, he said. And in the competitive landscape that we find ourselves in today, we think that's essential from a creative standpoint. That's a philosophy that we're going to continue to deploy across our film and television studios, as well as our streaming services. He also reiterated plans to invest more in technology, including an overhaul of Pluto TV planned for later this year that will accompany a renewed push for that free streaming platform. Alright guys, I'm on Variety.com and it says, Paramount projects significantly lower theater revenue overall in 2026 despite more titles. CEO David Ellison reiterates the plan for a 30-film annual stay with Warner Brothers. Paramount Skydance has nearly doubled its theatrical film slate in 2026, but it will see significantly lower box office revenue overall for those movies, according to the company. David Ellison, Paramount Skydance's chairman and chief CEO, said the company is firmly committed to releasing 30 films theatrically per year once it merged with Warner Brothers Discovery. Speaking on Paramount's Q1 2026 earnings call, Ellison said Paramount grew its slate from 8 films in 2025 to 15 in 2026, and that Warner Brothers also has 15 films on its release schedule this year. The two companies are actually making 30 films to date, which I think is important to note, Ellison said, and that number is accelerating. However, for 2026, Paramount expects significantly lower theatrical revenue year over year due to lower average box office revenue per film across more releases in 2026, as we build into our 2027 plus slates. The company said in its first Q1 shareholder letter, it also faces a tough year-over-year comparison because of 2025's Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, which generated nearly $600 million at the global box office. At the same time, Paramount expects studio segment profitability to increase in 2026 versus 2025, with growth driven by accelerating licensing and other revenues, including a full-year impact of legacy Skydance revenue and higher licensing across Paramount Television Studios and CBS Studios. Ellison, speaking about the WBD deal on Monday's earnings call, said, we really view our pending acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery as a powerful accelerant to our strategy. It positions us really well to build a next-generation media and technology company. He said the company is on track to close the deal by September 2026, which is what Paramount and WBD have targeted. The combined Paramount WBD will have more than 200 million subscribers in over 200 countries, he said, which positions us well to compete against streaming rivals. Paramount won the $111 billion deal to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery in late February, after Netflix declined to raise its offer for Warner Brothers streaming and studios businesses. The Paramount WBD merger is still pending regulatory approvals, and several state attorneys general have been considering whether to sue to block the deal. To help fund the WBD deal, Paramount Skydance is getting funding from the sovereign wealth funds of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi, which together have committed $24 billion towards the merger. The combined Paramount WBD will be 49.5% owned by foreign investors. Paramount disclosed in an FCC filing about 38.5% of the equity in the new company will be owned by the three Middle Eastern funds. For Q1, Paramount Studios' revenue increased at 11% year over year to $1.3 billion. That includes better than expected box office performance of Scream 7, which pulled in $122 million domestically and nearly $208 million worldwide, the best in the franchise history, and the consolidation of Skydance licensing revenue into Paramount Television Studios. Paramount's upcoming film slate includes Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft Tour, directed by James Cameron and Billie Eilish, May 8th, followed over Memorial Day weekend by supernatural thriller Passenger, and 2 weeks later, Scary Movie, part of its first look deal with Miramax. On June 26, Jackass Best and Last, the fifth and final installment in the franchise, is set to hit theaters. And finally tonight, that the Paramount-WBD deal signals a new streaming of era scale. It says, according to this, Park Associates' latest streaming video research highlights that Paramount's acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery would extend the combined company's reach to 57% of all U.S. internet households. The deal would put it on par with the four streaming giants, Netflix, Google, Amazon, and Disney, which each reach nearly 60% of all consumers via their various platforms and services. Parks Associates provides monthly updates on the streaming ecosystem through multiple research services, including the Streaming Video Tracker. This research service delivers monthly reports on market and consumer trends, quarterly estimates on subscriber growth, and ongoing analysis on distribution strategies. Film, broadcast, pay TV, SVOD, fast, free as supported, and ad video on demand, and business models. According to the latest data, nearly 2/3 of U.S. internet households use Netflix, making it the most widely adopted streaming ecosystem. Amazon follows closely with 61% of households engaging across its portfolio, including Prime Video and MGM+. While YouTube's suite of services reaches 61% of households as well, Disney's multi-platform strategy, including Disney+, Hulu, and ESPN Unlimited, drives adoption among 58% of households. This is clear in how consumers engage with streaming content, said Michael Goodman, Director of Entertainment Research, Park Associates. Unless you are Netflix, it's no longer about a single flagship service. Success increasingly depends on building a broad ecosystem of complementary offerings that keep viewers within a single brand family. Parks Associates data also shows a strong performance from hybrid and legacy media conglomerates. Fox and Comcast, Peacock, and Roku continue to build meaningful engagement through niche and free streaming platforms. The findings reinforce several major trends shaping the entertainment industry. Ecosystem advantage means companies offering multiple services under one brand are better positioned to retain and grow audiences. Aggregation strategy, bundling across SVOD, AVOD, and live content is becoming a key competitive differentiator. Discovery innovation, improved navigation, recommendations, and AI-driven personalization will be critical to reducing churn. Parks Associates expect further consolidation and deep integration across streaming portfolios as competition intensifies. The streaming video tracker is a comprehensive tool that tracks the streaming video service industry. This research provides extensive profiling for streaming video services in the US and Canada. It also estimates subscribers, viewers, and transactional users, including those that do not publicly release customer figures. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this edition of JDT Fridays Fan97 News for Monday, May 4th, 2026. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. Join my Facebook group and follow me on social media. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. Until the next video, this is JDT Fridays Fan97 saying, this is your JDT Fridays Fan97 News. You Fridays fans be good or I'll come over here and block your underrated privileges.